Sorry, Engineer Fee. Yes, you are the in-house pastor for the day. Please open.
Thank you. Please shall we pray? Dear Lord, we thank you this afternoon for the opportunity for us to meet for this general meeting. We are grateful for the gift of life. We pray and commit this meeting into your hands. It's our prayer that please come and take charge, come and take control so that whatever you do shall end successfully. We thank you for answered prayer in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Engineer Fee. We shall now prepare to have our welcome address, after which the chairman for the event will be introduced. Okay, after which the chairman for the event will be introduced, and then we will have our 2 lectures before the branch chairman's report. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to call on our branch chairman, who would give us the welcome address. So please, with a round of applause, let's welcome our branch chairperson.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for making it a point to attend our conference in AGM. Branch 4 has been plagued with executive and membership apathy for a long time. And the last council year, there were 3 rounds of getting somebody to be the chair. And I managed to adjust myself into that seat. So for almost 2 years, we have done a couple of things. And today we will have to render account to our members and also tell the members the way forward. So today, you are all welcome to our AGM. Like the MC said, there will be branch AGM. There will be presentations, and you also have the opportunity to ask questions and make input into our activities for 2025. So I wouldn't want to take my time. I want to say you are all welcome to Branch 4 Conference and AGM. And I say the conference and AGM is duly open. Thank you so much.
Please don't forget, you have another duty to perform. Thank you very much. Please, let's give him a louder round of applause. Next on our, thank you. Next on our agenda is the introduction of the chairperson for our event today. And I have the honor of calling on our branch chairperson to introduce the chairman.
Thank you so much. Today we are honored to have somebody who at a distance is a father to me. I'm spying on him, but he doesn't know. And I keep following him at places he goes to. He is in the person of Engineer Ludwig Hesse. He's a disciplined Presbyterian. That one I can assure you of that. He's the president-elect of the Ghana Institution of Engineering. And before he takes office, we want to collaborate with him. He is a member, but we want to draw him closer so that we can work and support his, in quote, ministry. So without wasting my time, I wouldn't want to say a lot of things. When he comes, he's going to give us a lot more about himself, his background, and all that. So with a round of applause, let's kindly welcome our chair for today's conference and AGM, Engineer Ludwig Hesse.
Thank you very much, Branch Chairman Engineer Hesse. It's my pleasure to invite you to please give us your remarks.
Thank you very much. Say much about one. Josu, actually, Kofi. He has some Tema Community 3. Is that fine? That's enough about myself. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. When I saw the promos and I was told that I have to chair this function. It was strange to me because if you have a branch general meeting, it's a branch chair who chairs, isn't it? So how can there be any other chairman apart from the branch chairs? So I thought, but when you see the promo, it's like I was supposed to chair the presentation on the AI thing. So I said, okay, that's okay. In the conference, there are things that you chair. But when I saw the program is a combination of conference and general meeting. It's all like a pie. So in it. So that's fine. I will try my best to chair the conferencing part of the process. But when it comes to this would look like general meeting style, the branch chair will have to do his job. Hello, Nakani. Nakano, Ashanti me was one Sunday. Right. So be as it may, we are here today, and the branch general meetings were instituted to help reach more people within the institution. When you do an AGM at the national level, it's not everybody who is able to come and to participate. But the feeling is that if we have things at the branch levels, then people who distance becomes an issue for them can participate in conferences, in sharing ideas, and also in contributing to the. So if decisions are made here, they automatically come onto the agenda of an AGM, and who knows, probably your small idea will become the big one for the whole institution. So when it's time to contribute your quota, your voice, please don't shy off. Bring it up, and you don't know where it will get to. That's how it is. Say it into the air, and the air will process the rest. So you are welcome, and I think we'll kick off. We have some talks, lectures, and things, and the MC will invite the people, and we'll just kick off.
Thank you very much, our chairperson and president-elect of the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Oh, please. For our president-elect, let it be louder. Greater Accra branch is fortunate to have yet again another of its members become president, and later in the year, next month actually, during the AGM of the institution, he would be sworn in to take office as president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Engineer Hesse, thank you very much for your remarks. We shall now delve into our key activities, and I will be calling on one of our special guests who will be delivering a lecture, Mr. Ebenezer Kweku Asare. He is from the Ghana Institution of Horticulturists, and he will be delivering a lecture to us. Thank you, and please welcome. Please let's give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon. All right. I would like to, first of all, thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak on this relevant topic. And I'd also like to thank my chairman, Ghana Institute of Horticulturists, Southeastern Zone Chairman, for the opportunity to stand in for him. So our topic is creating a healthy green space for sustainable living. I'll be highlighting on green infrastructure, sustainable development goals, and how SDGs relate to green infrastructure. All right, so basically, rural-urban drift is something that is a major problem all over the world. A lot of people are moving from rural areas to urban areas in search for greener pastures. As a result, we have increased population in towns and cities. According to the Ghana Statistical Agency,
In Ghana alone, we have 54.8% of the population in urban areas. Global urbanization and the increasing population, especially in developing countries, have created numerous burdens on natural and man-made infrastructure systems. The next slide, please. So increasing population usually results in the need to build more structures, increasing in infrastructure, providing more homes, offices, and all that. By virtue of that, we tend to lose a lot of ecology. Many urban development projects in Ghana are characterized by little or no proper attention to green infrastructure development and ecological aesthetics of urban landscapes. So what then is green infrastructure? It has to do with a network of natural or semi-natural areas which are actually designed to provide ecosystem services. So if you carefully look at the previous slide, please. Yeah, if you carefully look at this picture, you realize that you are given the opportunity to interact with nature, even in your offices, even in your homes. So you don't need to go to a big gardens before you can enjoy nature. So we can incorporate nature to our buildings, to our environment, so that we can enjoy the full benefits of nature. One critical aspect of green infrastructure is green spaces. Green spaces are an area of grass, trees, or other vegetation set apart for recreational aesthetic purposes. We all know about SDGs as engineers, and it was adopted in 2015 by UN member countries to alleviate poverty and combat climate change by the year 2030. We are in 2025, so it's left with 5 years for it to be achieved. So we have 17 of these goals, which is aimed at helping us to achieve poverty alleviation and combating climate change. Out of these 17 goals, I'll be highlighting on 7 of them that relate to green infrastructure. That is goal number 1, no poverty. Goal number 2, zero hunger. Goal number 3, good health and well-being. Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. Goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 13, climate action. Number 15, life on land. With regards to goal number 1, no poverty. Green infrastructure projects such as tree planting exercises, maintenance of parks and gardens, green roof installations, and all that creates job opportunities for individuals. You'll be surprised to know the amount of money those gardeners by the roadside make a day. They make a lot of money. So that is it for us. Apart from that, one other thing is that when you have homes which are well landscaped, you realize that the value of such homes and estates increases, and that gives a lot of money and cash to us as individuals. Healthy ecosystems which provide essential services such as fertile soil for agroforestry, timber, clean water, plants, which can be used to produce the clothes we wear. These can be alternative sources of income for us. So on a whole, green infrastructure has the tendency to enhance livelihood. SGD number 2, zero hunger. So green infrastructure provides opportunities for urban agriculture. So you can go in for rooftop gardens or even vertical gardens. And the truth of the matter is, some of these things, you don't need a lot of money to go into them. Looking at the picture over here, this is a vegetable garden. And what the person did was he just used the car tires available to him or her. So we can just consider some of these things in order to provide food for our families and also help achieve zero hunger as part of the targets. Biodiversity conservation is essential for providing habitats for pollinators and providing ecosystem services. So butterflies and bees and all that, they are pollinators and they help a lot in ecosystem services, and then they promote or support the production of food. Mitigation of climate change effects or impacts on food production, such as droughts, heat waves, etc. Good food can lead to good health. So that's the next point we want to consider. SDG number 3, good health and well-being. Food security is a contributing factor to achieving this. Forests also act as natural purifiers. So when you have trees or plants in your environment, they purify the environment. They're able to extract or take in carbon dioxide and other harmful gases and then give oxygen in return. So on our streets, on our highways, we usually see that they've planted a lot of trees, plants, greens around. The essence of those plants is to absorb the greenhouse gases from our cars. Plants also play an essential role in maintaining water quality. Plants improve air quality, and plants also offer medicinal purposes. A lot of the medicines we take in, they take extracts from plants. And even there are therapeutic gardens available where people can go in, those with stroke and the aged, they can go and enjoy nature. At certain places, they even allow them to do some garden works, mulching, loosening the soil and all that, so that they can exercise their muscles. Recreation and mental health. So plants and greens in general help to reduce stress, and it can help us to have a good mood. Indoor plants. It is very important to note that a lot of the furnitures in our homes and in our offices, they give off certain chemicals that are very harmful. And when you have indoor plants in your offices and in your homes, they can absorb those pollutants and then give you a fresh air. They reduce noise pollution. So trees and greens can serve as buffers to reduce noise pollution. SDG number 6, clean water and sanitation. Green infrastructure help to manage stormwater runoff, reducing the amount of pollutants that enter waterways. Trees, roots, soil help filter impurities and pollutants from water, usually around watershed areas. And erosion control is also key. in improving water quality. Reduce the risk of waterborne diseases such as cholera, typhoid by improving water quality and reducing the amount of pollutants and sediments that usually go into our waterways, which end up at our water stations. So plants and trees are very important. SDG number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Trees have the tendency to reduce heat in our environment. They reduce temperatures and heat in our environment. They improve air and water quality. They provide avenues for community engagement. When you have green spaces in the community, people can go there to interact with one another. They support local economies, reduce stormwater runoff, improve public health, increase energy efficiency. And I would like to highlight on this point. You know, when you have trees in your homes, it reduces the amount of money you spend on air conditions and fans. So that is it. Increase energy efficiency. SDG number 13, climate action. Carbon sequestration helps mitigate climate change by reducing the concentration of greenhouse gases. And I would also like to establish the fact that a tree which is 50 years old, imagine cutting it down. Do you know what happens? What usually happens is that the carbon that is stored for that number of years, 50 years, is released back into the atmosphere. So you can see the harm we are causing in our societies with this galamsey and all that. Forests ensure water cycle and temperature regulation, reduce energy consumption, improved air quality, flood control, drought resilience, climate regulation. SDG number 15, life on land. Combating desertification, halting and reversing land degradation, as well as biodiversity loss, calls for afforestation and reforestation. Agroforestry practices, harvesting of water, soil conservation measures. So when you talk about life on land, green infrastructure helps us to restore habitats, conserve soil, and then provide ecosystem services, and then be able to achieve land degradation neutrality. To conclude, I would like to highlight on the fact that green infrastructure plays a very critical role in promoting sustainable development and improving the lives of people. As engineers, let's try as much as possible to inculcate nature into built environments for us to enjoy of its benefits. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer Kweku Asari, for this very inspiring lecture on living a very sustainable life. Shall we please give him another round of applause? It's strange that they say Africans used to live a primitive life before civilization, and our primitive life was living in trees and under huts and everything that is supposed to be eco-friendly in the modernized, civilized world. Now the whole world is chasing us back to living in trees, and so even in our office spaces, we are surrounding ourselves with plants. But it's very inspiring to learn how natural vegetation can help improve our life and well-being, and especially the exhortation that as infrastructure professionals, we think about how we can integrate nature in what we do. Thank you once again, Mr. Asari. Well, it's coming up to 2. We have 3 minutes to 2 p.m. And I don't know how my next speaker is going to deliver on what should take us days. As you know, in the world of work, there is always a competition between delivering on work and its demands, and also satisfying the needs of our families. It's always a very difficult relationship to keep. With the advent of technology, the access of workplace in places that we don't want to have work has increased. And I had a shock this Christmas when I was intentional about staying home and being available. Then I realized, I wake up and nobody's coming close to me. So I say, oh, what's up? I'm here. I say, oh, it's because you are not going to the office, or you think. So yes, even our families know it when we begin to pretend, but there's no doubt that technology has invaded our homes and taken over our lives. On this note, I have the pleasure of inviting our next speaker, who is going to deliver a lecture. The lecture is supposed to be by wine. I don't know how that is, but perhaps the branch of GHIE dedicated to women. I hope we can also form mine. Is going to give a lecture to us on the very important subject of balancing work with family. Please treat the work family and which other family, because we call all of them family in the workplace, in all those places. And I believe it is none other than our very own, I don't know, but I'm hoping I'm guessing right, Engineer Jane Naki Tete Anui, who will be giving this lecture. Please let's give a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Engineer Melody. So I'm to talk about balancing family life and work. Does this truly exist? The balance. Does it exist? Let's think about it. And if so, how do we achieve it without feeling like we are constantly falling short in one? So this is the person who is coming to talk to you about that. At the workplace, she's Associate Vice President in charge of Finance and Administration, a principal consultant in environmental engineering. She's a board member. At home, she's a daughter. I still live with my mom. Oh, my mom lives with me. Let me put it that way. I'm a wife, a mother, and a plant enthusiast. So I was very happy to see that it's good to have greens around. And I can, if you ask me, I can give you testimonies about having greens around here. Also, at church, I have some activities I play. At my old school, I have activities I play. Therefore, can you go back to that one, please? Thank you. Yes, so old school, I'm a year group president. I'm a project member. At church, I sing. I'm a lector. That means I proclaim the word of God before the priest preaches. GHI, I'm vice president of wine. For the past, I think 6 or 7 years, I've been part of the conference committee. So all the conferences being organized, I'm part of it. And other things I can't even add on this. So I have to balance this. Okay, next slide, please. I brought that so that we know that week, there's some kind of things that you can do to be able to balance this kind of life. You don't have to be strictly engineer all your life, and you can't be a home person all your life. You have to find a way and strike a balance. So I'll just talk about little strategies with my little life on earth, a little strategies that has helped. So as I'm talking about these, I will be putting in some few personal things that I've done, so it makes it relatable. Next, please. Okay, so why do we need to do it? We need to do it to reduce your mental health. Sometimes we don't take that thing serious, but it can be very, very, very tough on you if you don't strike a balance between work and, because you can be at work and you're thinking about home, something that you are supposed to be doing, and the complaints coming from home. And meanwhile, work is also waiting for you, deadlines, all that, project meetings and all that. So we need to think about it very critical. It reduces, if you balance it, it reduces the stress that comes when your whole well-being is taken care of. Physical health. If we don't balance it, you will burn out. If you overwork, you will burn out. If you concentrate on the house too much without concentrating on work, you will burn out. We do that so that we have stronger relationships. You have a good bond with your family and you still have a good bond with work family. So yes, you have a very stronger relationship when you're able to balance it. Then increase productivity. Imagine you come, everything is good at home, you come to work, fresh mind, you can be very productive. You can achieve your task in no time. So what prevents us from actually achieving these? The challenges that we face: time constraints, limited time for both. You go home, let's say you get home 6, 7, you have 7 to the next 8 a.m. to deal with those that the ones at home. You have 8 to 5 to deal with work. And you can, we all be sure that the 24 hours is not enough to work with these things, two things. Guilt and expectations. You know, you want to, you are working hard to please the family. At the same time, you want to climb the corporate ladder or the work career ladder. So you have to work, you have to put in, you have a certain expectations, you put some milestones in front of you. And that is also a constraint. So if you don't take care and you don't balance it well, that guilt will kill you. Mental health. So we go back to mental health. Overwork. We overwork in both places if you don't take care, because you want to be successful here, you want to be successful there. And then if you don't have help, that's also a constraint. Growing up a little, I saw when somebody gives birth, you see aunties, cousins, everybody coming in to pitching some help. Nowadays, your mom live in Prafraha, you live in somewhere, and it's difficult for your mom to even commute to come and see you and give you that support. And if you're a man and you don't have support system, all the challenges at home, you don't know anyone to talk to, anyone to call help, and you can break down at a point in time. Next, please. So little strategies to help us achieve these balances, this balance that we are. Set clear boundaries. At work, define work hours. We, especially men, yes, we don't define our work time. And when you define them, you have to stick to them. When the weekday ends, avoid checking mails. Me, I know if president is online, then I'm in trouble. He's my boss. I take my sync off my phone from my emails. So after 5, when I reach I live in Ebri. Immediately I reach Mensa, it's off. Yes. So your mail will come through all right, but I'll see it in the morning. Yes. The reason why I have certain experiences, I'm the type that if I see my mail, and it requires me for me to do it, I'll be thinking through. I can't even sleep. And I want to finish that. I want to finish that. So after work, emails are off. Unless it's very, very critical, I'm called that this one, dear, you have to do it. Then I'll consider. So checking emails, unless it's necessary, as I've said. If you work from home, try and create designated time for work. Try. If you are home, to be patient with the family. Dedicate time for certain things so that you bond with the family. It's very, very, very important. So you set boundaries for both work and family life. Prioritize and delegate. You need to do that. Focus. So we have a lot of tasks and you have people around you that can help. Concentrate on the important one, the ones that it really, really needs you at the important task, and delegate the less critical ones to those who can help, so that you don't get yourself worked out. Similarly, at home, if you're home, you can dedicate some of the work, and I have a policy say something must give. With all these tasks, I can't do all of them alone. So at a point at home, I told myself something has to give. So I seek for help where help can be. I can get help in my neighborhood or whatever agency, whatever it is. So I'll source some of the tasks. I have outsourced it. I can't be superwoman. Yes, I cannot be. Somebody comes in once a week to iron in bulk. Somebody comes in once 2 weeks to clean. So that I also do I do the week, then he comes the following week, because that's the only way he can assist me. He can't come the whole time. So seek help. Learn to say no. If you want to balance your life, learn to say no. Sometimes, especially those of us who are a bit lower the corporate ladder, we always want to say yes because we want to please our bosses. And those up there things that whatever your client is saying, if you don't say no, hey, you will lose the job or something. But we should learn how to say no. If you think that the family, that at that point, it is very, very critical that family has to be attended to, politely decline or rain check, so that you don't stress yourself or you don't give yourself too much. You can do flexible work arrangements, because if you think that you are having challenges, and I'm fortunate to work with a company that's sometimes is always family oriented and can adjust your working conditions for you, so you can be able to attend to family when needed. Then take care of yourself. Prioritize yourself. You can't give what you don't have. You know that. So if you're not happy, you can't give of your best at work. You can't give your best at home. So we need to balance. We need to take care of ourselves very much, because your health matters. If you fall right now, touch wood, your work. In fact, the next ad will advertise for someone. If you fall right now, touch wood, your family will have a huge gap that you've left, and it will take them time to readjust. So you cause them a lot of pain. So take care of yourself so you don't burn out. And if you are not mentally right, you see that you would lash out on everybody and anybody. So take care of yourself and have adequate sleep, eat balanced diet. Those of us who like to garden, there's one way that we used to relieve stress. Me, when I'm very, very sick, my garden is my refuge point. I just go and sit and meditate, and I begin to feel better. Yes. So whatever hobbies that you are interested, don't let I'm in my working phase of life. So those things I'll wait when I go on pension. Then I'll start playing my golf again. Or no, please take care of yourself. Take time out. Sometimes take time out from the family, take time out from work. And it's all about you. and then establish a support system. It is very, very important. Support system at work, support system in social life. It really, really goes a long way to help you. As I was saying about in our olden days, when somebody gives birth, you see a whole village helping out. And it is good. Now that is dwindling. Postpartum depression and all those things are setting in. And a lot of people go through a whole lot of things because we don't have that kind of support. People that have friends, people have trusted friends. I mean, people that have social, like church friends and all that. You see, when they go through certain situations, they're able to cope because they have people around them to give them certain support. Anything happens to you at work and you have that support there, you realize that you're able to go through whatever difficulty in terms of work or anything that happens at work. But if you go and you're always in your corner, finish your work, submit, always in your corner. If you're even sick, nobody will notice that you are sick. And you end up being depressed. So workplace, seek external, I've already talked about outsourcing tasks. Outsource them. It doesn't make me a failure as a woman if I ask somebody to come help me iron. No. Can somebody come in to help me clean? It doesn't make me less of a woman. If I work, I'm not able to, I don't understand something. Sometimes I say, Charlie, this one, they see top, what's up? And you realize that the help comes in. It doesn't make me less a professional, right? So seek help than sitting by your desk and cracking your brain to the point of depression. No. So try and seek external help if needed. So it's a little time management. You can plan ahead so that you'll be able to put your activities into perspective so that you'll be able to apportion time for everything. Focus on one task at a time if you are not somebody who is so good with multitasking. If you focus on one, you realize that you finish it in time and move to the next task. Don't aim at perfection. It might sound controversial, right? But don't aim at perfection because you strive for progress. It's one step at a time. You will get to the perfection. Don't immediately get up and say, I want to be perfect today. No, you will burn out if you do that. So a little baby steps, then we are moving so we get to where we want to get to. And you need to delegate a response. So if you want to manage your time so well that you can balance both, these are little tips that we can take care of, we can learn from. And those of us who are employers, these are some of the things that we can do to help our employees to be able to balance work, flexible time at work, family-friendly policies, as I've said. I'm fortunate to work in a company that has policy like, not policy, but they are very family-oriented. I remember there were situations where I have to sit by my son in the hospital. He was on admission. And I had a deadline, but it was understood. I stayed at the hospital with the child with my laptop in a very, so at least my child have me, work have me, my laptop is there, and I'm working. And in that case, I'm not stressed at the hospital because my work is waiting, or I'm not at work, and then I'm wondering what is happening to my son. So it would be good to give parents, those who have parents especially, those who have children especially, time to manage their lives well as employers. And then you create a supportive environment. In so doing, everybody gives off his best at work and gives off the best at home. So take away what you, at least for all I've said, if you didn't take anything home, these are little things. Balancing is not something that can be achieved and then the one-time goal. It is a progress. It's a process. You have to plan. You have to prioritize things, and then you have to take care of yourself. Strong boundaries. realistic expectations. Don't set expectations that will give you a mental breakdown. And then get good support network that helps you achieve this. And then work-life balance is not about perfection. Just be present. Just be present, especially in family life. It's not that you are there and what your children is doing, you can't do. Just be present for them. That's all. It's about finding harmony between both areas of your life. And I would say that above all these little things, one of the things that has helped is the God factor. So whatever you hold dear, whatever faith you hold dear, hold on to it, because for me as a Christian, God always comes through for me in difficult times when I have to navigate between these two spheres of my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Shall we please give our speaker another round of applause? For those of you who may be feeling guilty, don't worry. I can relate and I identify very well. I used to take pride in sleeping no more than 4 hours. I say used to. Yes. So that was a very good lecture by Engineer Anowi, emphasizing the need for harmony with all the demands on our lives. And I'm sure for each of us, when we balance the many demands, we would find the stability that we need in our lives. Thank you. So on the agenda, we are supposed to be taking the branch chairman's report. However, due to the constraint of time, the intention is to skip this activity and go and have our snack break. And when we return, we would merge the branch chairman's report with the activities which are to follow and hopefully close at the designated time. But given that we've had 2 very inspiring lectures and we have a chairperson seated, I would like, with the permission of the chairperson, to ask if we have any follow-up questions, maybe 1 or 2 from in here, or our colleagues joining us online. Can we see them, please? Can you show our colleagues online if they are still waiting? So if there are any, if anyone has a question to ask or clarification or very brief contribution to make, please, you may do so now. Ask one. You didn't. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any questions, comments, or contributions to make. So, yes, our chairperson would make a remark briefly.
Yeah, I think we've had 2 good talks, and they're not engineering, they are life. And thank you, Brad, for bringing life here. I think it's a good thing, and sometimes we just have to pause and think about life and feel life. And like you said, associate very well. Yesterday, we had a deadline to submit a report on Wednesday, and yesterday we were still printing and binding. And the people who wanted a report, somebody was coming to our office, and I left the office place at 8 p.m. and still were binding. And apparently, where we were supposed to submit the report, they came and picked the report last night, somewhere last night. Person came by and said, go and come back. So this afternoon, I had something else. I didn't call the office. But when I called, they picked the report last night. So I'm sure probably around 10 p.m. or something. When I got home, I had a church program this morning at 9 in Adenta. That's where I came from to this place. I needed to give a talk, and I had not prepared anything. I was told on Monday, there's something, I want you to come and say something to us. The topic was given, it was left to me to form a topic. Then I asked, and nothing clear. So I got home, ate late, watched TV a little bit, and then it was because I got home after 8 or 9 or somewhere around there. But I knew how to prepare for this morning. So I was sitting there, then some stupid Nigerian film that I was watching this. Sorry about that. And one day my wife was also there. Say it was one day someone listening about, and we're just sitting there watching. So at one time I just turned off, then went to behind my computer and this church. You see, when you started, you say you sing in church and you are a lectionary or something. Lector, I haven't heard that word before, but I probably also do that. and when you were talking about your focus was on home and work, but there's life, yes, but you didn't talk about church, how church comes in, how it crosses you and binds you. and I was doing this. So when I started behind my computer and started working, I haven't even formulated my first slide. Then my wife comes into the study. She comes to sit there and she starts talking. And then she asked some question. I didn't answer. I was there. My mind was not. Then she says, how much my ass. So think about it now. She said all those things. She walked away, and I didn't even raise my head to watch her go. Can you imagine the sacrilege that I was causing? but she spoke. I heard her say everything she said. I didn't react to anything, and she walked out, and I didn't even say bye-bye. and it wasn't about my work. I finished the work one. This is about church. You see, and church was now interfering with home. You see, so these things are difficult things to do. I ended up sleeping at 2 a.m. and it's church, and I've been gone to work today. I've gone, and then I'm doing GHIE. You see, so there's even the fourth leg, and there's even the fifth leg, the family ones, a year and all those things. So it can get very, very complex. It can get very complex, and you need to balance all those. Thank you, and thank you for. Okay, right, okay.
So that is where support systems help. My husband is my number one support system. He would take care of home whilst I do the church and old school activities and all that. But then I need to fulfill certain requirements too. I need to be present when I have to be present and putting all the, so that's why I say planning and prioritizing what is. So you plan and say, okay, food should be there, that should be there. So when he's taking care of them, and then sometimes you have to pay for it, and I need to take care of the children whilst you do these checks. And then I think that we should learn to say no. We could have said no to church. Yes, but you see, it has put him into a state where his wife even come and say hello, and he didn't even realize that the wife was there, which is not too good. I'm not they have married, their wife has managed to tolerate that for a long time. But it's not the best thing to do, especially for young couples. So let's learn to say no sometimes. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Please let's give a round of applause. Please, the no goes both ways. It's not just yeah. So you can say no to the house, to work, and to family too. Okay. Well, then you are not entirely in the wrong. And and our chairperson, who is also president-elect, did say that he was watching a very boring movie. So in case you did not hear it well, he was watching a boring movie to him. No nationality was mentioned. If you heard, it was an oversight. Well, so ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure now to invite you to join in our snack. There's a table set at the back. We'll do this quickly in less than 50 minutes. The time now is 2:26, 2:45. We come back and continue our event. Thank you for cooperating so we can catch up with time. Thank you. Will you clap for me too, please?
Voice. Slide, please. Okay, so whilst we are waiting, so we had my experience, engineer Dr. Kwame Bachi, to talk about how to plan your life. And the idea is for the young ones. I'm still young. I'm a young old man, but I'm still young. The up and coming one, how do you plan your life as an engineer? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? How do you strategize? Can mentor you? If you are not careful, you live your life, and by the time you hit a certain peak, you can't make changes. So the idea was to bring him, and he did a very good job in giving us that presentation. Then we also had, so that's about my experience. Then we also collaborated with wine, and we had Dr. Engineer Ya Okujeto to make a presentation on how to increase female representation in engineering leadership. And we're fortunate to even have the president in the session. He was on call. And I wasn't around, but I were able to put it up. I wasn't in there. I learned it was well, the petroleum was very, very good. Okay, so this one is on engineering in focus. So how to start an engineering consulting business. And the idea is you would gain a lot of experience when you are, whilst you are working. At a certain age, you might not be able to do the physical work like an engineer who is an entrepreneur. You have to supervise cabling, supervise block work. Probably you can go into academia or research or consultancy. So the first one we did was engineer, Reverend Engineer Professor Charles Anum Adams. And he did a fantastic job and explained you can't be a consultant just because you've worked for X number of years in a particular engineering firm. You can even work for a brief period and acquire all the experience, and you can set up. And then he also explained what it takes, how to create a niche for yourself and all that. Okay. Outlook for 2025. Okay, so please look for the outlook for 2025, and then I'll come to the challenges. After this event, we are looking at organizing World Engineering Day, and we wouldn't want to be within our own confines, still engineering practitioners. So there are a few ideas on the table. We want to consult or have a meeting with either the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, go to a school, go to another engineering cluster, maybe Ashama or any other place, So these are ideas. And when we get to the Q&A session, I'll be grateful if you can also chip in your ideas. So that's for World Engineering Day. Then we'll also continue with the programs that we've been running. We have some that we were not able to do. For instance, how to sell yourself. That's an engineering focus. You can be very, very good, but if you don't know how to project yourself, or even the engineering practitioners to get to know that, oh, this guy is in this area, you will be hungry and you'll be complaining that there are no jobs in Ghana. So we'll organize that one too. And then our ethics lecture, and then green living, our impact project. Then these two, they sound a little political. When I propose to people, they shudder. Position yourself in the positioning your engineering business in the 24-hour economy. The government of the day is saying 24-hour economy. And if you want to make money, you go with the flow. So we want to bring, in fact, I've got somebody, but I want to consult a few elders and see if it is politically correct to bring somebody to talk about me. I'm apolitical. So far as we are in the winning team, I'm fine. If the elders say we shouldn't do it, I will shelve it. So we would look at how an engineer or as an engineering consulting business, you can position yourself. What are the challenges? What are the issues? Already, AGI has organized one, and we would want to do one not for manufacturing or industries, but engineering practitioners or those in academia, research, and all that. Then the other one, engineering in an economic downturn. We should have done it in 2024, but people were wondering if you do it, it will go against the then government. So we had to shelve it. And this one, you can take it for life. If there are challenges in an economy, can you still tap into the possible businesses? Okay, so the last one, we'll continue our collaboration with MAM, Wine, and the welfare committees. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are our challenges. The major one is member apathy. And I'm trying very hard. I don't know if I should go and study sociology or psychology and write a book on engineering sociology. Yes, I'll kill that project. By the time I'm done, when we have a presentation, the entire room will be full. I am wondering what the issues are, because we are trying to touch base with all the divisions, the levels. I'm not coming to that. So please imagine you've not seen it. You've not seen it. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's been mentioned. This is supposed to be on a lighter note. And in fact, we have to commend Mr. Aheto. He would be happy with what I'm going to say. Anytime we have a social program, especially a funeral, and you come around, you can't find anybody, and you beg him, he will go. And it's actually a commendation. And I'm sorry I used the funeral director. We'll delete it. You'll be surprised, you'll be there, and then they tell you, oh, Asime's father has passed away. And you don't know the member. You've never seen the member before. And when you encourage, at least, I know this gentleman, I know Michael, I know what Michael can do. I know a few of my team members. I wish to have members who can participate. There are 12 months in a year, and almost every 3 weeks we have a program. At the point in time, I was warned that the programs are too many. So you can either be online or come here. And in coming here too, you meet people and you socialize, you distress, and we will break bread. These days, we are not going to have snacks. We will have banku and fufu. breaking of bread. Yes. Please, the last slide, and I'm done. Our AI presenter is in, so I will want to hand over to him. Okay, so no, motivation. This is a small testimony. I joined the executive of Accra, Greater Accra chapter some years ago. I think 2016 or thereabout. I was the only technician amongst all of them. Engineer Agra, Engineer Opare, Engineer so and so. But I was not discouraged. By the grace, I finished first degree, I did my master's. And then there was a vacancy. I became a council member. By having that one alone as part of my profile, it's opened a lot of doors. I wanted to join Institute of Directors. I put in my application. That's it. And I wish all the young ones, up and coming ones, would talk to the senior, the fellows, and those who are coming up. Then you know what to do. It's not really about the cabling and the spanners and the buildings. But at a certain age, you want to even share the little experience you have. As a board member, as a council member somewhere. So I want to motivate, especially my younger brothers and sisters here. Try hard, work within the branch. Even that one on your CV, it's something. And then when there is an opportunity, Greater Accra wine coordinator, Greater Accra artisans, technology, something. Gradually, you put your CV somewhere and they know that it carries weight. Thank you so much. And I would want to encourage all of us, especially my big men here, to continue supporting us. God bless us all.
So, thank you very much, branch chairperson. And it has not been a very easy journey the way he presents it. We all see the notice and invitations to the meetings and how we contribute. So please, let's give him another round of applause. Well done, and there's more to do. We are looking forward to this year. Well, I was going to continue, then I realized that our dignitary schedule is growing, but I'll hold on and introduce all of our dignitaries after our next lecture so we can still have them. So standing on all existing protocols, with the permission of our chairman for today's event, I'll move to invite the final lecture for today. It's 3 o'clock. We are well within time, and we hope to wrap up even ahead of the scheduled time. Our final lecture is on advancing engineering through artificial intelligence. We have so far received 2 lectures, one focusing on nature and the other on social dynamics and how we can manage the various demands on our life. And we are grateful to the speakers. We will now delve into the realm of technology. Okay, I'm supposed to be speaking, so I'm going to start making up a few things. We are now going to delve into the realm of technology in the hope that we can come to gain more understanding about how the various emerging technology resources can enable our work. Until the end of 2024, a lot of us were, but 2024, there was a lot of disruption. We became very acquainted with AI, and for a lot of us, what we came to know is ChatGPT, and that's just about it as one of the resources that we could use in our work. And that's because a lot of us work in word processing and all want to be more fancy with the use of our text. And we were wondering what AI could do. I remember when it started, I made my own. We would tease the flaws of the technology or the tools that were there, because we were under the impression that they should be able to answer questions when we ask them, you know. Before you began, I'll have to call on you to do this. All right, thank you. So then we getting acquainted with ChatGPT. Another one emerged. Microsoft also introduced Copilot. A lot of us see it on our screens. We don't pay a lot of attention, but well, they also give a different interpretation to how we can use such resource or leverage that resource and say, well, think of AI as a partner, just as you would have a co-pilot in a cockpit. There are times you would depend, engineer IS here, so he aspired to be a pilot, but for his eyesight. That's what he said. Sometimes the co-pilot is the flying officer, or just controlling instruments. Other times they are piloting, so you may not be the captain, but you could be the one flying the aircraft. So there are times we can depend on AI tools or resources as the only means to achieve a goal, or there are times we can guide it by making our own interventions. But before we enjoy all this wonderful lecture, and the new one that is emerged, I'm not sure how many of us have seen DeepSeek, also another in the category of word-based, innovative AI technologies that have emerged. It's very, very fascinating. I tried it and I was amazed about its iterative process. You know, unlike the other ones who just give you an output, this one takes you through series of iterations and querying everything that you give, so then it's very, very admirable. But anyway, it is my pleasure, with the permission of the chairman, to delay this lecture. Oh yes, I wanted to tease you a little and delay the lecture and allow for the swearing in of our new branch executives, executive officers. So that once that is done, we know the lecture would be the final thing before we take our break. So I would once again welcome our chairman to please invite the officers for it to swear in. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our presenter has to set up and do a few things, so we will not take much of your time. I will be grateful if Engineer Dr. Ebenezer Efriye would come forward. Engineer Priscilla Kunedu, Engineer Sandy Atampuri. Okay. So the ballot was open from 3rd February to today, 10 a.m. And we had 58 ballots out of 625 eligible voters, representing 9%. So 625 eligible voters, only 58 decided to vote. Wow. But God is good. Yes. So I will swear them in. They already have their yes, I will introduce them. Where is the last one? Therefore. Yes, so I have that. We don't even know what position they are in. So they are and also that be I'm sorry, we had to fix a few bolts and nuts in the engine. So we are done. So I've been corrected. I first had to mention the positions that were contested and the results before inviting them. So the bolts and nuts have been fixed. So for vice chairperson, we had engineer Dr. Ebenezer Efriye. So that's engineer Dr. Ebenezer Efriye. And then for branch secretary, we have engineer Priscilla Obem Kunedu. Fantastic. And then for branch organizer, we had engineer Louis Kwesi Osei. For branch treasurer, we have engineer Atampuri Sunday. Engineer Louis Kwesi Osei is in Kumasi. I asked him to join online so that he can be sworn in online. I don't know if he's online. I will find out. So at this juncture, in fact, it's actually a confirmation. They were the only people we had. So it's a confirmation. The voting was to confirm them. I want to hand over to the president-elect of the whole institution, the only Ghana institution of engineering, president-elect, to do the swearing in. So I will call on Engineer Ludwig Annan Hesse to do as the honors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a learning process, so we will allow so 58 people voted, and all of them voted for the people who are standing here. So there was nobody who said no. Yes, so and this is what should have been announced first, because I voted and I didn't vote no. For vice chairperson, Engineer Dr. Ebenezer Afriye, all the 58 people voted yes. So you are overwhelmingly endorsed. The branch secretary, Engineer Priscilla Obem Kunedu, are you related to Michael Obem Kunedu? You are not. Okay. Are you sure he's not hiding anything from anybody? Okay, sorry about that. 57 voted yes. And I don't know, one person doesn't like you, but it doesn't make any difference. Life goes on. And the same thing happened to branch organizer Louis Kwesi Osei. 57 said yes, and 1 said no. For branch treasurer, engineer Atampuri Sunday, 56 said yes, and 2 said no. So for all 4 of you who stood, you have been overwhelmingly endorsed for the positions that you stood for, and God will bless you for that. Now, we have to swear you in. And again, probably next 2 years, this will not happen. The branch president is supposed to be elected at a branch AGM and not at the AGM of GHIE. And because we're doing that previously, we are still on autopilot. So when we said if you organize the branch elections, then they take the chairpersons out and then come and add them to the national elections. Going forward, that will not happen. That's not the right process. Now that we are swearing the branch executive, the branch president should be part of here. We are sworn in as a branch president here as leading the branch executive. So, but because we've done it the way we are doing it, we allowed this process to end. But probably we should all put it in our minds that next time we're having a branch election, the branch president is included, and we do it at the branch level. That is what our constitution says. So you have the piece of paper was office for branch executive of the Ghana Institution of Engineering. So when I say I, you mention your name, then we'll proceed. Is our friend online who is supposed to be online? Is he there? Who is the bearded one?
Yes, I'm here, please.
Okay, right. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, Louis, we can see you live and clear. So you say I, your name.
I, Engineer Osel Louis Kwesi,
Member of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
member of Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Having been elected to the office of Branch 4 Executive.
Having been elected to the office of Branch Organizer.
Branch 4 Executive of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Branch 4 Executive of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Do hereby in the name of the Almighty God solemnly affirm.
Do hereby in the name of the Almighty God solemnly affirm.
That I shall at all times preserve.
That I shall at all times preserve.
And uphold the Constitution.
And uphold the Constitution.
Code of Ethics of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Code of Ethics of Ghana Institution of Engineering.
That I will faithfully and conscientiously.
That I will faithfully and conscientiously.
Discharge the duties of the executive member.
Discharge my duties of executive member.
Of Branch 4 of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Of Branch 4 of Ghana Institution of Engineering.
That I shall.
That I shall.
All times to the best of my abilities.
All times to the best of my abilities.
Contribute to the realization of the vision.
Contribute to the realization of the vision.
And mission of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
And the mission of Ghana Institution of Engineering.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay. Of the president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, who is on official council, what do you call it? GHIE duties in Sierra Leone, Liberia at the moment. So I stand in to do this for him, and we'll say congratulations to you. And I'll ask the council members here to join me and past presidents to join me to congratulate you. There you go. There you go.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, our President-elect and Chairman for today's occasion. Okay, and also congratulations, let me add my congratulations to our newly elected branch executive officers. Congratulations once more. And I equal to you as said by our chairman for the occasion today. Now, we are gearing up to the close of our event. But before we close, allow me the honor of acknowledging amongst us today our very distinguished guests who have joined us. The first, of course, who is also the chairperson for today's event and who is the president-elect of the Ghana Institution of Engineering is Engineer Ludwig Hesse. Thank you for coming. It is also my pleasure to acknowledge the presence of past president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Leslie Aye. Please welcome. I would also introduce our other distinguished guests who play various roles within the institution, either as council members or as executives of various groups. And I'll begin with Engineer Michael Obin Kunedu, who is the chairperson of the Civil Technical Division. Next to him is the former chair of the Civil Technical Division, Engineer Joseph Ode. Since there can be many former, he is the immediate past chair of the Technical Committee. It is also my pleasure to acknowledge no other than Mr. Aheto. And strangely, for every event I've come, he is seated and always on the same seat. He is a council member of the Ghana Institute of Engineering. It's also my pleasure to introduce my very, very, very close friend, Engineer Jane Nakitete, and will be the Vice President of the Women in Engineering Group. Thank you. Of course, I'm not closing without recognizing or acknowledging the attendance of our various guests, all of you wonderful people here seated, but also those whose efforts feed into our next lecture. They are leveraging technology to participate in this event. And we took note of the 13 of you. So in no particular order, Engineer Louis, who was sworn in, Engineer Wolanya Afenyo Ghana, I can tell your name. Thanks for joining online. George Foley, Anna, Engineer Harry, Abdul, Matthew, Jan, Herbert, Frankata, Michael, and Engineer Christian. Thank you for joining us. Our next speaker asked for a little time to organize his resource and is about to join us. So I'll pick up from where I left off on the technology and perhaps even quiz you. Okay, sorry, the chairman needs to intervene.
Yeah, I think it's right that the president, the chairperson, gave the overview of the activities and what they are looking forward to. And whilst you are here, I think we should hear something from the floor, what your comments on and whether you have some ideas as to how you think things can be, you can contribute to that process that he has initiated. So I think we should, whilst we wait for the, is the speaker coming on?
Yes.
Okay. Whilst we wait for him to be ready, if we can get a few comments, because the chairman also indicated that you want some feedback on those things. So let's spend a few minutes, some 5-10 minutes to. Can we project about the last part, one slide for the president, the way forward slide? Projectors, please project for us. Are there any comments? Anybody with any comment, please? Yes, Engineer Konedu has a comment here, please. The mic.
Yes, thank you. When Chairman was speaking, he mentioned apathy. And I was wondering, have you tried to find out what some of the reasons for the apathy is? You know, at the technical division, we also have some of that. And we've been wondering, we want to know, when you told us about your election results, out of how many people? 600 and something, only 58 or so placed in the voting. That is a serious indication of apathy. So I am wondering, do you have any ideas as to why engineers don't seem to be interested in things that should be beneficial to them or to us? Thanks.
That's an extremely important point. But hold on for now. I'm sure other things will come and we may need to deal with multiple things. The speaker is ready and we don't have too much time. Are there any other comments before we bring the chairperson to respond to this? And people online, if anybody has anything, we can't see you. So Mr. Eto, go ahead, please.
Yes, mine is about the 24-hour something he projected. What I know is that in consideration, 24-hour is what we call 3 shift 4 crew. Machine supposed to run 24 hours, 6 to 2, 2 to 10, that sort of thing. Then employees go on breaks 30 minutes instead of 1 hour. The law says everybody should go on break 1 hour. But once you are running 3 shift 4 crew, you can't go 8 hours. You go 30 minutes, and that should be rotated. But whatever is there, it all depends on the materials availability. It will apply to what? Industries like manufacturing and production, for example. You deliver car girls here and there. But to corporate world like how do you call the offices, I don't think it can be feasible. Go and say that manpower. What are you doing? For example, I know DVLA, based on nature, they will go 24 hours. But let's assume our office like this. So that's the way. So talk of 24 hours, what? 3 shift 4 crew. Machine run 24 hours. You have 4 set of people in line. They go 8 hours, 30 minutes break. 6 to 2, 2 to 10. That's something. That's what it runs.
The day we bring the president here to come and talk on this, we'll invite you to come and give him some lecture.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for the quick intervention. Very, very important. At least we got to take some questions and contributions. And a very philosophical question was posed to our branch chairperson. But he did say that he was now going to study sociology and psychology of why there is apathy in society. So just as he told us about his educational progressions, we will allow him another year after taking the courses in sociology and psychology. You will come back and receive this question here. So Engineer Obin Kunedu, thank you. Your question is noted. We'll come back to it. We have our guest speaker who is featured on our flyer, a distinguished professor at the University of Ghana by the name Professor Isaac Biafe. He is at the Computer Science Department and a professor of information technology. He leads AI research, and he will be guiding us and sharing his thoughts and reflections on advances in technology in ways that we can apply in our work. Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for this distinguished invitation. It's a special invitation. This is my first time of talking to engineers. Yes. I don't know whether I'm an engineer, whether you add me to your team, but I do AI, like you rightly said, I do AI. So today I'll be sharing with you some of the new things that are happening in the field of AI that we cannot ignore. I'll start by talking about some of the things that we are doing at University of Ghana. Most of the time when you meet colleagues who are in the sciences, it's sweet. The reason why I say it's sweet is that if you are talking to non-science people and ordinary people in Ghana, they keep saying that we are not doing anything. But then when you are speaking to your own, they know that we are doing something. Yes, we can't solve it all, but we'll solve some of the problems. So for today, I'll be talking about issues, give a general overview of artificial intelligence. We've heard it over and over and over. I know some of you know about it, but I'll try to break it down to a very simple concept and see if I can make sense to everyone. Please, I'm a teacher, so I prefer that people pause and ask questions when they are not understanding anything. I don't want it to be a very formal presentation where then we'll talk about how AI is revolving even education, engineering education. right, and general education. We talk about, in terms of research, we talk about practice, and then we talk about some structural effect. I would show in all cases, I'll try to give practical examples for us to see how these things are real. It's not like can I calm down? Yeah, I feel comfortable behaving like a teacher. So first of all, like I said, artificial intelligence, we've heard this word, and now it's like a bad word. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Technically, what it means is that it is a form of intelligence that is artificial. Well, so what is intelligence? Intelligence is our ability to learn from the past and be able to make decisions that are optimized for the future. So if something is happening to us now as engineers, we should, and that is what we do, we should be able to analyze the situation and understand it, that in future, when it comes, we are already prepared, right? So when Titanic happened, engineers went back to the drawing board, and then they fixed a lot of issues. Yesterday, I was surprised. There's something I've seen that I've never thought about it, why the windows of aircraft are oval and not square. And actually, they started with squares. And then there was a serious issue because of aerodynamics. And then some planes had the windows breaking and crashes. And then they decided to go over. So we learn with time. But then that is what humans do. So why artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is not actually new. Its roots started from psychology, where those in psychology were trying to understand how humans think and then how we can make thinking be artificial. They've been working on these things over years. Then after some time, the processing power of computers became advanced, storage became advanced, and then they started adopting it. So in the process of adoption, what they started doing, first it was purely rule-based. If this, like how we do in our programming, if this, then what? If this, then what? But then they moved to neural engines, where they are talking about how the brain works. So the training of an AI engine is actually a black box, just like the brain. 90%, or I can boldly say almost all of us don't even understand how it is working. All we know is that it works. That's all. So it's a very simple algorithm, a semion algorithm, mathematical formula that is working. So we can tell it works, but we cannot actually explain. So just like the human brain, we know it is working, but we cannot tell how it's really working. So it does something like a feed in, feed out process. When you are teaching a child how to learn, right? So if I ask how we got to know our names, I am Isaac Yafe. Who told me that I am Isaac Yafe? Because when I was born, they started calling me Isaac Yafe, Isaac Yafe. So my brain started mapping. Every time they mention Isaac Yafe, there's a particular figure who is there. They will say, oh, television, then they will point. So my brain started doing that. So we do the same thing to the computer. We actually create tables. And then we will say, this color, red, this color, green, this color, red. And then you feed into the computer several times. So anytime it sees red, it can tell this color is red. It's as simple as that. But because the computer has a processing power that it can process a lot of things within a split of a second, it's able to learn more things than humans. That is all. It's not as if it's doing anything. So the more your processing power, the more you can learn. And once processing power is increasing, it means that we'll be doing a lot of marvelous things. I hope I've managed to explain the concept of artificial intelligence. So for us, at the Department of Computer Science HCI lab, what we are doing, I'll start by telling you some of the things that we are doing to contribute to engineering, right? So we've been working on persuasive road markings, very interesting thing. We've been doing virtual reality for education. We've been doing, recently, we've been working with Google on UG speech data platform. You see that now if you have Android, you can actually communicate with Android in key, in voice. It was launched in November. Yes, so we work with Google on that. We did a chunk of the work, but we don't have the money, so we have to keep quiet. and they should, yes, because they gave us the money. So we've also developed our own models. So as they are developing, so we got them the data. They have the money to develop the models, but we don't have the money, but we have something. So we've developed our own models that are also working. We are currently working on something we call Tetramapa with UCL and Google. We are trying to, people with speech impairments. I'll give all details on this. Let me be, so that is persuasive road marking systems. Now, what it does is when we have normal road markings, right? But the thinking is that, can we find a way to intelligently communicate with drivers so that they will slow down when they are speeding, apart from looking on their speedometers? And what we did was that we came out with a concept of having road markings being changed to LED stops that are intelligent and can communicate, pick the speed of the driver, and then based on that, change the color of the road marking, the stops on the road. So if you are over speeding, the road stops will change to red. If you are driving within speed limits, it stays in amber, and then it means that you are fine. And we think that we can create some cognitive pressure on the driver, because everybody knows that you are over speeding on this road. And that alone should help you change. We prototype everything, but the problem was where to do the test. We talked to some people who will see whether they will help us or not, but it's quite a challenge for the physical construction. So what we did was that we simulated this in a virtual environment to see whether it is really effective, and it was really effective. So if let me see if I can play the video from here, or yes. So we simulated in a virtual environment, somebody driving a virtual car, and then we realized something very interesting. When they are driving within areas that they know, so we have two environments. I'm showing one because of time. One environment was the University of Ghana campus, where people are familiar. Now, when they are driving within the virtual environment, they tend not to bother with whether the thing is showing red or not, they will speed. But anytime they are driving within an unknown environment, when the thing shows red, they slow down. Now, virtual reality, so you see those goggles that a guy is putting on. When you put it on, you find yourself in a physical, like 3-dimensional space, and it feels very real. And you can feel the impact that you are going to crash and everything. So that's made them start. So we realized that even if we introduce this, it will work more for drivers who are driving in new areas than those who already know. And that is how we drive, actually. When we are driving in an area that we are familiar with, we just speed off. But when we don't know, then we are more cautious of the road signs. So that was one thing that we did. Then this is a project that, like I was talking about with Google. So let me play the video first, and then we'll continue. So if you can have the video play, please. The sound. Oh, okay. So the sound is not coming. So what is happening is that we realize that AI is catching up, and it's catching up very fast. But the problem is that what happens to the local languages? What happens to somebody at Makola who cannot speak English? That is where those of us at HCI, we started from. All the tools are there. I'll show some of the tools and how they work, and you see how effective they are. But the problem is that if you cannot speak English, then you are out. But if you are talking about engineering, we don't need people who have already been through formal education to say that the person can be a good engineer. There are people who probably have not been through formal education, but they have certain level of knowledge that with the new AI, they can be doing things. But these people will be sidelined because of language. So what we did was that we collected 5,000 hours of audio, 1,000 each for Akan, Ewe, Dagbani, Dagari, and Iposo. Don't ask me why I know Gan. Come to that. Because that is what I do get every time. But we are doing Gan now. Yes, we are doing Gan now, rest assured. We have just started collecting Gan. Because myself, I'm an Akan, but I grew up in Okanshi, lived my life throughout. I can write Gan, but I can't write Akan because I learned Gan. So Ghana is dear to me. So what we did was that we collected these hours and then we were working in partnership with Google, right? So when we finish, the data is made available. Data is online. Everybody can have access to it to use it to train models. The reason why we did this is that it is the first step to AI for us in Ghana, if you are talking Ghanaian languages. Our languages are considered as low resource. So we don't have a lot of content that we can use to train. So I can do things on ChatGPT, on engineering, but I can't do it if I want it in local language. So that is why we did that. And after that, like I said, because the Google, so that is Perry Nelson, he's currently the head of Google Ghana. So after that, then the data was available. Google have the resources in terms of processing power. They trained their models very fast, and then they deployed the first one. So currently, we have that. Now, we went ahead and trained our models, right? And that is typically what we have done. So what we did was that we recorded people speaking Twi. Then we make some people transcribe the Twi, like what they would have done. Then we trained the computer to listen to how the person did the transcription. So anytime it listens to an audio, it should be able to transcribe. So when it hears Twi, it will be able to transcribe the Twi. And if you look, we have the actual transcription. That is what the Akan expert wrote for us. And what is on the right side is what the machine wrote for us. Now, we even saw that the machine started doing better than the humans. Is that not true? Now, watch the first sentence. Asraf was a robber. Here, Asraf was a robber. It's spelling robber in Twi, as compared to spelling robber in English. So our model is actually doing very, very good. We also did another one in Ewe. So that is the Ewe one. I can't read Ewe. Yes. So again, it was not just this. For the Ewe in particular, we realized that there is no Ewe keyboard for computers. So we have to develop Ewe keyboard. So we've developed an Ewe keyboard for computers, and it is available online for free. You can download. You can only have it on Android previously, but now you can download it and have it. If we want the links, I can share the links after this. So those who are interested can download. So now I can download and type Ewe. We have to do Ewe keyboard to make sure that this thing can work. So those are some of the things that we are doing. There are other few things that we are currently doing. For instance, we are looking at how to develop a chatbot for maternal health, both prenatal and postnatal in Akan and other languages. We have started with Akan, so that when you speak to your phone about, so expectant mothers can be speaking to their phone and it will be advising them on things that they should do and they should not do. We have started that project. We are halfway through. There is something that I know all of us will be happy about. The insult on social media is just too much. You're watching video with your kids and someone comes in and what he's saying. So we have started modeling. But this afternoon, even before I came here, we're brainstorming on some of the rules that we will use to filter out and block all those content on social media. Because you can't do it in English. If you post anything in English that you are talking about hate, insult, and things on social media, it is blocked. They bring it down. But because in Akan, their models cannot read Akan, it cannot read Ghana, it cannot read any of those things. So people are rather using those channels. And they don't tag their videos as adult content. Because when you tag your video as an adult content, you don't get any royalties. They don't pay you. But when you tag any silly thing, and then people will be watching, then you are making money. But it's not good for the kids. So we have also started working on that. And very soon, we hope to share our models with the people outside. Now, let's come to typical classroom situations. Now, when you are in the classroom and then you are doing engineering, like I know engineering comes as something that is very difficult, right? But in modern times, with AI platforms, it's super cheap. And I tell my colleagues in engineering that they should stop giving exercises of engineering questions and stuff like that. If you say integrate something, right, the student can write. In fact, we're trying to get a screenshot, but anytime you go home, you can try this. Write a very tough engineering question on a piece of paper. Take a picture with it. Give it to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to solve it. It will solve it for you. From picture to solution. That is where we've got into. I'll demonstrate some of the things where we've got it from picture to solution. It will solve it. Like, it will, if it's integration, it will just solve it. Now, what is this telling us? It's telling us that we should change our style. Now, some of my colleagues at the University of Ghana, some of my colleagues are arguing that we should buy these AI detector tools. And I've always been saying that I'm against it. Because we are moving into the industry where now we are going to use AI. So I would tell any person that if you are employing someone now into your firm and is an engineer and he does not know how to use the AI tools, don't employ the person. Because 70% of the work that we are doing can be done by AI without hassle at all. 70%. Now let's move on to the next one, that is AI for research. Same way, for engineering research, AIs are solving the problem. When you have any engineering issue, give it to ChatGPT and it will solve it. Let's see an example. So ChatGPT is a platform that is almost free, right? With the exception of if you want to do some wow things that you have to pay. If you can go to my browser. Sure, good. So start a new page for me. Good. Now let's pick one interesting issue that happened in Ghana. That is the spillage, right? The Akosombo Dam spillage. What I did was that I came out with a prompt that would investigate that and then see how we can solve it. So I've already typed the prompt because we don't have time. I've typed the prompt. Can you copy? So conduct a comprehensive analysis of the Akosombo Dam spillage in Ghana, examining its causes, impact, and potential solutions. Utilize historical data on rainfall patterns, water levels, blah, blah, blah. I give this prompt to ChatGPT. So let's copy this and give it to ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT will tell us. And then we run. And then it's as simple as that. It will do all the thinking. It's searching the web to understand what that issue is. So what caused it? Excessive inflows due to heavy rainfall. Let's go down. Climate change. Let's go down. Upstream activities. Let's go down. Socioeconomic and environmental impacts. Let's go. Now let's go. All the issues that happen. Now propose solution. Then it gives us the solutions. Now let's see, you are engineers. Let's see whether these solutions make sense. Right. So enhance early warning systems. Invest in monitoring infrastructure. So it means that we have to invest more in monitoring. Now community engagement. Sustainable water management strategies. Then we have to do integrate water resource management, regular reservoir assessment, infrastructure enhancement. And now let's assume that we want to probe further. So let's now ask ChatGPT to give us a suggestive budget for this solution. So let's ask. No, let's go the same place, not this one, with not a strategic plan. I'll come to strategic plan. So suggest a budget for this solution. Yes. Now, if you give it more information, it will actually do a better job. All it needs is something we call prompt engineering. How you can engineer your prompts to get the best out of the machine. And it will solve the problem for you. We actually also came out with another prompt to see if we can have a plan for the implementation. So that was a very comprehensive plan. So develop a strategic plan to mitigate the impact. So this time we want a strategic plan. Right. Good. So let's see how that prompt will also do. Now, the fact of the matter is that I tell people we are getting to a state where committees and all those things are no more necessary. All these things can be done by one person in few seconds rather than forming a committee. So if we give this prompt, it comes out with strategic plan for it, the strategies, and then supposing we have, so between short-term solutions, improve hydraulic monitoring, emergency response framework, and I think these things resonate with us, isn't it? These are the things. These are the things. And I am not an engineer. Right. So if it is you, the knowledge that you have, the type of prompts that you will give will be more advanced than me. You would be able to say that, look, when it comes to strategy, I would rather want to focus on this first. So tell me how I can do this better. And then it will do it for you. So that is the level that we are getting to in terms of research to understand problems. We can pick almost every problem in engineering that we are having on the street and then use this to solve it. Can we go back to the slides? Yes, I'll be ending very soon. Can we go back to the slides and let me show you something that I did? So down, 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 down. So this is a practical example of This is a practical example. This is a real world case, right? So I asked someone to design a structure for me, an architect. He came out with this design. I am unable to, because I wanted to show all at the same time so we can compare. He came out with this design. During construction, that is what we got. Then we realized that the thing is looking horrible because when you look at the space, if I can go up, when you look at the space here, and then the space that we got with the block, it wasn't looking very well. So at that point, we were struggling to see how we can modify this building. So I said, well, hold on. Let's try Copilot, which is one of the AI platforms. I took this picture and then I gave it to Copilot. And I say it is suggest railing for the balcony that would enhance the beauty of the building. Then they came up with this. And then we actually did that. And the building came out nicely. So this is real. It's not like, so what is happening is that, in fact, after we did this, the architect is my friend. He started using AI to do design. Every time he's going to do design, he will give it to the AI, tell the AI to give ideas. He picks the ideas, he polishes it. So it is all about our prompting. Once we understand these platforms, and then we know, since we are the experts, we know how to, in fact, he told me, initially he didn't believe it, that this thing will work out. But he told me that, if you had told me, I would have even tell you some of the rules that we use in railing, and then we'll see whether we can improve the design. So it's all about we understanding this platform. Now, to end it, this is the biggest fear that we all have. Our fear is that it is going to take us out of jobs. And I have to be honest, it is very, very scary. Now, if you can check this last prompt for me, Akon, can you check a last prompt for me? Then I'll show you why I'm saying it is very, very scary. But what it actually means is that we have to, the current level of our understanding, the knowledge that we have is now obsolete. Just like those who were very good in using stones to make fire. Now it's obsolete. Just like those who know how to do clerical stuff is obsolete. Right. Now let's go back to the Word document that I've created. And then the first prompt. So predictive maintenance in manufacturing, we want to develop a machine learning model. Right. Now the AI is a machine learning model. We want the AI itself to develop a machine learning model. So the things that the computer scientists have been doing, we want to see if the AI can do it for us. So we copy that prompt. So it's a model that is supposed to be what the goal is to create an AI-driven predictive maintenance system for a factory in Ghana, capable of identifying patterns and patterns in equipment performance and forecasting, blah, blah, blah. So let's copy that prompt and then give it to ChatGPT and then run it to see what happens. So here it is putting the knowledge of an engineer and a computer scientist together. And within a split of a second, it will first tell you what to do, how to collect the data, how to process the data, how to develop your machine learning model. And it will finish and actually develop the model for you. So give me the quotes. See how serious it's getting. To write the codes, if you want, it has already told you how to implement this thing. It's giving you the codes. Copy the codes. If you want the codes in Java, tell it, give me the codes in Java. Give me the codes in C#. Any programming language, it will give you the codes. You copy it, paste it there, run. That's all. You finish. So I always say that where we've gotten to, in fact, nobody on earth knows what is going to happen next. The only thing that we know is that if you don't adopt these technologies, you will be behind. Simple. That's all. That is the only thing. Because things, if you come to University of Ghana, this is the problem that we have. So some of us are trying to train almost every single faculty on how to use these tools, because if I know how to use these tools and you don't, I'll be publishing more than you. My teaching becomes easier. I can tell ChatGPT to design a whole program, give me the slice, everything, and it will do it within a few seconds. And it will do that for me. So that is where we've got into. That is why I was saying that we've gotten to the stage where when you are employing, the person should know AI. If the person does not know AI, it is best for you to start training them on how to use AI. Because if they know AI, I can tell you that instead of having 10 workers, you may need only one. Right now, the job that is vanished completely is vanished. It's administrative work. It's gone. You don't need to hire any serious administrator. As I'm speaking, you can record everything that I'm talking about, give it to ChatGPT, and tell it to summarize it for you. And it will do that from audio to text straight. You can tell it to convert it into minutes, and it will do it for you. You can tell it that, okay, based on this, write a letter to the chairman or the council chair on what happened here. It will do it without human intervention. So my last words are, AI have come to stay. We have to. It's not that we have to adopt it, because all the big giants are into it now. China just released their latest model. That's the DeepSeek. And it is performing far, far better than Google is having Google Gemini. Microsoft is working with OpenAI. Apple know they can't compete, so Apple actually joined OpenAI. And now they are trying to take over. So the tools are now all over. There is AI tool for almost everything. We have moved past the AutoCADs. Even AutoCAD now is having an AI integration. Last time I was using Adobe, and Adobe is now having AI integration. You can actually take images of structures and tell it to construct, just convert the structure into, how do you call it, your plan, the building plan. Just take a picture and it will be able to give you the building plan, everything. And you'll be chatting with it. So here it's not drawing anymore. I'll be telling the system, I want ACs to be placed this way. I want the cooling. So once the instructions, what you do when you are doing your engineering work. You want to construct a hydraulic system. How you think about it, you tell the AI, and then the AI will do it for you. I would like to end here. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Wow, Prof. Thank you so much. And I bet you see what AI has done. AI said, "Come and sit here," so he's come to sit. Please let's give him another round of applause. Wow. It's very inspiring to hear what Prof says, and I couldn't help but kept musing to myself about some of the analogies he made about giving right prompts. And sometime last year, I had the opportunity. I wrote an article about my mess with AI, and just in the car, trying the function in the car, and said, "Call me Jacqueline." Because then Jacqueline is someone I work very close with in the office. And then he said, "Okay, your name is Jacqueline." But that's not what I meant to say. I meant Dow Jacqueline Fenomami. So you realize that the way we even speak, and sometimes translating it into English directly, may give the wrong prompts or signals. But it's been very inspiring listening to you, Prof. I can't help but thank you very much. I see our past president wants to speak to you or engage. So yes, I will be inviting questions, Prof.
Thank you very much for it. I'm a member of the American Society of Engineers Transportation and Development Institute Committee on Ethics. And we, the other day, we met to fashion some for Congress to come up with a policy on AI in transportation. And I'm glad that you mentioned the thing about road marking, because the research which has been done about junctions shows that in the United States, quite a number of accidents happen at junctions. So you're seeing how the road markings and other facilities, the road furniture will be AI responsive, and it will be interacting with the vehicles that use the road so as to minimize accidents. Now, there's a policy. They're drawing a policy. Last time, this thing to Congress, they're developing a policy on it. Whether we like it or not, it's the vehicles are AI. So they are the vehicles that we're importing will be that. I remember during the vetting Parliament, I just showed you one. I asked them to ask the minister designate the government's policy on AI. This one goes. I'm sure the text, but they couldn't ask. We're moving into an era and you don't have a policy on AI. That's problematic. In aviation, they are very responsive to AI, so that's fine. But the other areas, we have to wake up and then make sure that what we're doing is AI sensitive. The consultants themselves have to know in order to produce that. But I think it's a very interesting thing. I have other things that disrupting technology, and so we'll interacting and we'll see.
Thank you very much, Leslie.
Let me add something to what you said. So when you show me the test message, I'm like, wow, so it is really true. So this is what happened. I had the opportunity to speak to Gates Foundation, the person in charge of AI for Africa. And they were trying to get some grants to do some of the stuff that we are doing. And the guy said, look, I want to be honest, because I was introduced to them through Google. The guy said, I have to be honest, Isaac, I won't waste your time. We can't give you money. And do you know why the reason why we can't give you money is because of your government? It's exactly, yes, it's exactly what you said. He said, there is nothing coming out from Ghana showing that we are AI ready. So currently they are pushing all our monies, all the monies that they were supposed to give us to countries like Kenya, South Africa, and the rest. And when you said this, even within University of Ghana, I've had a proposal rejected on autonomous vehicles because the people said I'm being too futuristic. And I was shocked. That was the only reason why. And what we were investigating into is to find out crash decisions, exactly what you were talking about, crash decisions. Now we have autonomous vehicles. Some people don't know that they are in this country. People are driving autonomous vehicles in the country. Yes, but because you always see them holding the steering and going, you may not think that it's autonomous. Some don't even know that the vehicles they are driving is autonomous. If you are driving Honda, I don't know how they pronounce it, Palisade or Palisade, it is fully autonomous apart from steering control. So it is like level 4 autonomy. It's able to detect all the potholes, but most of the people driving it don't even know. So they still drive. Now, the issue with autonomous vehicles, because we mentioned this collision, what we saw is that when it gets to crash decision making, there's a dilemma. Now, supposing an autonomous vehicle gets to a junction or a crossing, and there is a school child, this is like a 5-year-old boy trying to cross the road, and then there is an elderly person about 70 years standing at the other side, and there's a roadblock, and the speed of the car demands that even if it brakes, it will have an impact with one of the three. Which one should the vehicle choose? That is what you will say. But if it's your father, you see, so there are so many unanswered questions. And these were some of the things that we were trying to start investigating. And we wanted to make it culturally relevant so that the decision of the vehicle will be based on what the society will agree on. The only thing they had against us is not about our proposal, nothing, everything is fine, but they said, you are being too futuristic. So actually, I'm happy you have also seen this. Ghana is not ready. We are not showing any readiness. I feel that if we start pushing this one, it normally should be from top to bottom, but we can force them to start becoming AI thinkers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. So I'll move on to take any more questions, comments.
Ask a very simplistic question. Of late, I've been talking to this chat GPT thing, and it gives me nice answers. If I continue doing that, does that mean that I am now AI savvy?
No, you are a user. But the good thing is that within the nearest future, all of us, we can't say we are AI savvy because everything AI is doing it. So we have the developers, those who are like the engineers, the mathematicians, the computer scientists and stuff like that. Then we have the users. What we are emphasizing on is that the users should be well equipped. We don't really find, even if we can get to the stage where we can have more developers, that is fine. But if we don't have developers, as for usage, we want to get to the level because it optimizes almost everything. I'm happy you said you've been having that conversation with it. And you see that it keeps getting better as it learns from you. So if you keep chatting, at a point, it will even know your name. It's able to tell your name, get your job. If you want to write, most of us are busy people. You going for a program, you want it to, or you are, someone said, give me your profile. Right. So when you said, give me your profile, if I was having my phone, I would have given you my profile in less than 30 seconds. It's a new profile. Or I would have said, I'll give my CV to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, I'm going to present in this conference. Please give me a 200-word profile, and it will generate it. And it will tell me things that I don't even know that it's actually in my CV.
Thank you very much, Prof. You want to go again? Okay.
Yes, but I think that the caution is this, that it will give you a solution. But there are things that work in practice that makes, for instance, on one of the projects that we are handling. Now, they gave us, for those who are highway engineers, the shoulders and the carriageway. The profile on the shoulders is quite different from that on the main carriage. But there's a junction between the two. That's where the problem is. Now, the problem is this. Theoretically, this is fine. But then and it will give you the quantities, that's fine. But when it comes to construction, where that cannot be done, and you vary it a little bit, the difference in cost is a lot. It happened when we're doing a project in Guinea, where there was 140 kilometers of road. Now, the two things that we've been giving, for the shoulders, the transition, when we made it practicable, you have 150 millimeters. When you slant it, you taper it a bit, over just a few millimeters, and you multiply it by 140 kilometers.
We need to know the prompt engineering. What I can say is it's likely the prompt was not well optimized. The prompt that was given to the machine was not well optimized. So the prompt could have also say that in case there is variation, can you suggest how blah, blah, blah should happen? Yes. We are all at the early stages of using AI. And we actually don't, like I said, we don't even understand it. We don't. Anybody who pretend as if he understands it is a liar. I'm saying this for a fact because we are working with people with Google and stuff like that. And then when we have meetings, you could see that everything that everyone is doing is try and error. So we play around it, say, oh, yeah, our solution is getting better, something like that. So, but you mentioned something that I'm happy that don't let us take what it's telling us as the gospel truth, and then we will not even think because it is artificial. I think you get my point. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Prof. Engineer, you didn't introduce me as also a member along with you. So we talk about those things anyway. So please, are there any more questions from, comments, contributions? Quickly as we wrap up.
Yes, hello. Please, about AI. It's getting information from a data pool. And this is big data that has been gathered over, let's say, years, up to a certain point in time. But the years are not moving that fast enough. Will AI still be able to give us the answers we need maybe 5 years from now, given that it's not able to pull everything from the most recent years around us? The answers we'll need in the future, that's in the close future, the near future, will not be so different from the ones we are getting today. In that, with the way we are progressing and we are depending, or we feel the need to depend on AI so much, we'll be asking few questions in the future and getting the same answers we're getting today. And so, is it right for us to still be dependent, or to feel like we need to depend on AI, or is it to say that it's in this moment we can ride that wave, but have at the back of our minds that that wave will be short-lived and soon we'll have to go the distance by ourselves?
Well, that is, like I said, nobody knows what is going to happen next. You see, the concept philosophically, right? Even humans, everything we produce is what we know. Now, that's why I say the intelligence comes in when you analyze and you provide responses. That's how humans become. So if you are only reproducing what you know, you are not intelligent. If when we're growing up, here is Aku. Aku is a girl. She is a girl. She says, I'm a girl. That type of memory thing that we've done, it doesn't mean that we know anything. But our ability to come up with new knowledge. So that is what AI is doing. One, if you are using OpenAI platform and you are using the free version of ChatGPT, the only limitation is that it is limiting you to some years, 2022. If you are using the current version, paid version, it's up to date. Every information is what is happening now. That is so the easiest way to get what is happening now is Copilot. If you are using Copilot, every information you are getting is current. If you are using DeepSeek, there is also a limitation. If you are using Gemini, there's a limitation. Once you pay, they give you current information. But what is happening is this. Supposing you as an engineer, you use ChatGPT or Dale-E to come out with an engineering drawing for maybe redesigning Ghana's parliament building, right? You are not likely to copy and paste. You will modify it. I always say that don't cut and paste. Always put something new into it. And definitely you will do that because you will look at it and say, no, this one needs to be changed. So far, the only jurisdiction that is likely to be cut and paste is law, where they've seen that the AI platforms are giving better judgments than the judges. So, but for things like engineering and stuff like that, you would definitely add on. Now, when you add on, you produce that document, right? That document is likely to go public again. AI learns from it. So it's not as if, so that is why it's a generative thing. So for us in Ghana, that is why we are forcing to get the local language so that we can tap knowledge from people from the street. Because the guy selling orange on the street, right? He knows some engineering and he's not even aware that he knows some engineering because of his physical interaction with the road. There are certain things he can tell you that, look, if the car is coming, you just move 3 seconds and it will pass and it won't touch you. And that one is tacit knowledge. If we are able to pick that one and feed it into, then we are becoming better.
Very exciting. Wish to continue. We might not close from today's event, but judging from the comments and the general applause, Prof, you've delivered a very insightful lecture and wish to thank you. So please let's give the Prof another round of applause. Now, as we approach the end of our event, the branch chairman informs me that he has awards to give. And so he will come up shortly and he invites various persons to come and receive the awards. So please, let's give our branch chairman a round of applause as he comes up to present awards.
Hello. So over the course, during our council year, there are members who have worked tremendously to see the branch going. And there are other people who have to be recognized for their contribution to the progress of the branch. So at this juncture, I would like to call upon Engineer Aye to help me present an award to Engineer Priscilla Kunedu. Yeah. So Priscilla has been outstanding. She's our secretary. She does some of our reports. I wouldn't say all our reports, and she's just on point. So thank you so much for all your good works. The next one is Mr. Philip K. Aheto. Yes, you have been very dedicated and committed to the branch. Yes, you don't occupy an executive position, but you've been with us in almost every meeting you are around. We say thank you so much. So Engineer Aya will do the presentation. Where is Aisha? Please, I want to call on Mr. Brifo K. Jamira. Yes, he is surprised. Brifo, when we started, it wasn't going well, but these days we can see tremendous change, great change. And this AGM has been very smooth. So thank you so much. We want you to keep it up. Engineer. So the next one, I want the MC to read it for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Branch Chairman. So this citation is presented in recognition of your exemplary leadership and expert guidance for chairing Branch 4 Conference. Your masterful facilitation of proceedings fostered productive discussions, drove meaningful outcomes, and ensured the seamless execution of our gathering. From all of us, we extend our sincerest appreciation for your dedication, commitment, and tireless efforts in making our AGM a resounding success. This citation of honor goes to none other than a fellow of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, the president-elect of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Ludwig Hesse. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Yes, Engineer Past President, please, you may take your seat. To give our next award, which is also a citation, I have the pleasure to invite our president-elect to please do us the honors of making the presentation in recognition of a very enlightening presentation on advancing engineering through artificial intelligence, which ignited meaningful discussions and showcased the revolutionary impact of AI on the engineering profession. Your expertise has significantly enhanced our annual general meeting, and we are grateful for your invaluable contribution. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and inspiring our members. And this goes to none other than our Professor Isaac Yafi. Please give me. Please keep clapping. Thank you. And trust me, AI couldn't have known you would have done it this better. So it's not AI. Thank you. Mr. President-elect and Chairman for our event, we'll keep you standing a little while longer. The next award goes to a past president of the institution. And it's presented in recognition of his exceptional leadership and tireless efforts in chairing our programs, inspiring and motivating our members and contributing to the growth of the branch 4. His selfless dedication and commitment to excellence has earned him the deepest appreciation and gratitude of the entire executive and membership of Branch 4. This is presented on behalf of the branch to Engineer Dr. Kwame Boachi. Although he's not here, we have a representative to take the award on his behalf. Thank you. Please let's clap. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Please resume your seat. And since I didn't get one of the awards, like the many of you here, we say thank you. Your efforts is duly recognized. I'll consult with AI to generate one for the rest of us. All being so good, we have come to a successful close of our AGM for Branch 4. The remaining of the events have been put together, so we are not going to stay for an extended dinner as originally planned. We'll take our group photo after the vote of thanks and closing prayer, and then we will pick our packed meals and we depart. So thank you, everyone. I now invite Kunedu to please give us the vote of thanks.
So I want to thank our chairperson for today, Engineer Ludwig Hesse, our president-elect, for gracing this event, and also our past president, Engineer Alex Ayer, for coming by. Our former council members and branch executives, we say we are very, very grateful for coming to support us. And then we want to thank our speakers for today. We had our first speaker, Ebenezer Kweku Asari, who gave us some submissions on horticulture and encouraged us as engineers to inculcate green technologies in our work. And our wine vice president, Engineer Naki Tete, we want to say thank you so much for giving us an insight into how to balance our family life and work life, and that we are supposed to set clear boundaries. We should learn how to say no, take care of ourselves, and build a support system that is very necessary. And Professor Isaac Riafe, we are very, very grateful. We all can attest to the fact that AI is coming and it's coming at a fast rate. I just got to know that it started from psychology, actually, and that the reason why computers can do more is because they have a bigger processing capacity than us humans. So we should do more and catch up to AI. And we want to thank our MC, Engineer Michael, for you've been exceptional today. Our videographers, our photographers, our IT team, we say thank you so much. And for those of us Branch 4 members who were able to come and those of us online, we say thank you and God bless you for helping to grow the branch. We know when we call on you, you would come again to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Priscilla, for the wonderful vote of thanks. I wish I was named Michael, but I'm Edward. Yes. I've been rebaptized. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've been holding back on making a comment about Prof. Usually when you see professors on TV or read books, they have a certain personality. It starts from the hair. I was curious to once ask why, but they say when you're a professor, you are too busy to do this.
It's good for the pocket.
Well, so thank you very much. I now have the pleasure of calling on our in-house pastor to please do the honors of giving us the closing prayer. And after that, we all move forward and take a group photo. Thank you very much. My work is done.
Thank you, MC. Shall we pray? Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you once again. We thank you for being with us. We thank you for a successful program. We are very grateful. We are very grateful. We commit ourselves into your hands. We commit the entire branch and the entire GHI into your hands, that continue to be with us, help us. Let all our plans, our programs be successful. Once we are living here, we are still under your feet. We pray that be with us and protect us, guide us to our various locations. We thank you for a successful program in Jesus Christ's mighty name. Amen. I think we are close now. MC. Yes. Oh, okay.